It's fair to say that Hong Kong has seen an unprecedented increase in the number of restaurants and international chefs who've set up shop. Along with that, our food scene is changing rapidly, with a focus on where we get our food and its sustainability becoming ever more important. We have bloggers, we have review platforms and countless food magazines. We even have the Michelin Guide. What may surprise you then is we still have an antiquated restaurant licensing system. Some may say predating the invention of fire. No matter how old, what is for sure is that it's not keeping up with the pace of change in our modern world. You'd think in a city that's so easy to do business and one where we claim to be the gateway to Asia, the powers that be would work as quickly as they can to ensure that that gate actually opens. We're a city with huge rents, short leases, rapacious landlords. Living here isn't cheap, and with the cost of opening a restaurant being beyond the reach of most of our own population, you'd be right to wonder why they haven't followed the rest of the world and given F&B startup entrepreneurs a fighting chance of survival. One such example is by allowing food street vendors, and better still, food trucks. Now, before you say our roads are too narrow or the pavements are too small, think about Thailand, Vietnam or KL. Their street food is legendary and they certainly have roads much worse than ours. But maybe it isn't about that. Check out this fantastic business model of renting a small space, then using the road, the pavement and the laneway to conduct your business. The police walk by, they do nothing. The FEHD walk by, they do nothing. And the traffic police, well, you guessed it, they also do nothing. But God forbid a restaurateur puts a seat outside. They'd be hauled over the coals that very day. If, like the most of us, you're a law-abiding citizen and want to do it the right way, it takes an OSA license and a minimum of 6 months, if you're lucky. And let's be honest, we all know how luck in Hong Kong works if you're not a property developer. You only have to ask yourself how many restaurants with outside seating you've seen. If you want to open up a restaurant like one of the 15,500 who currently operate, this is how it works. You find a space that looks good, you get a licensing consultant who will check the floor loading and also the number of exits. He'll give you an opinion, and all the while the property agent is pushing you to sign your lease. If it turns out to be unfit to use as a restaurant, well, that's unlucky because the landlord ain't taking it back, and it's more than likely the next time you'll hear from him is when he jacks your rent up 50% 3 years later. The other problem with Hong Kong is you can't get a license until you've actually built the restaurant and are ready to trade. Then you'll have 5 government departments who will come along and check. They'll issue you a temporary license valid for 6 months. During this time you're building, you also have to apply for a liquor license, and you can rest assured that a city councillor or two will be rustling up community support to ask the LLB to deny that application. So not only have you just spent 5 to 10 million on a space, employed local staff and invested in Hong Kong, you end up having to go along and pretty much beg to have another obstacle removed. And all of this before you've served one plate of food.